Hi folks, Canadian Prepper here. Thank you for joining me for the second time today. This is going to be a response to the last video I made and some of the comments that we received on the video. Now, first off, I want to say I love you guys who support the channel. You click thumbs up, you click subscribe, you do all that stuff. Even if you don't agree with me, I love the fact that you came back to hear what I have to say. And indeed, no matter what happens, no matter which side of the fence we're on, we're all in this together, whether you like it or not. Now, we all feel the collective stress of the economic contraction, the climate chaos, and all the residual effects of that. I mean, the tension with the war, I mean, it's palpable, right? All the civil unrest, the civil disputes, we can feel it all in the air, and everybody is just a tad hysterical right now. And I get it. I really do get it. But I want to address some of the comments on that video that I felt were out of line. Now, here's what I want to say about Ron Hubbard of Atlas Survival Shelters, because a lot of people took issue with his political geopolitics, his perspective on the whole Ukraine war. If you want to know what the video is about, he's one of the world's foremost private bunker contractors, and he builds bunkers for people all around the world. He's building bunkers for people in Ukraine, all throughout Europe. And there's a lot of people who have very strong opinions about that particular issue. My whole goal with this channel is to try to present you with as much information as possible. We get people on the channel who are climate doomists, like Guy McPherson. We get people who are ambivalent about the politics of it all and are just strictly focused on economics, like Peter Schiff. We get people who used to work for the CIA, like Peter Pry, and then anti-globalists, like Joel Skousen, okay? And then Ron, who's an avid Trump supporter, but also happens to be very pro, Ukraine and what's going on there. And the reason for this is because we're trying to figure out what the FUCK is going on in our world. And we admit that we don't have all the answers. And so when I bring Ron on to tell you that, hey, they're building hundreds of thousands of bunkers right now, what a lot of people hear is, oh, my tax dollars, yada. Missing the fact that they're building hundreds of thousands of bunkers, and this is not on the news. Okay, so this is very important information. People, they go right to the most trivial aspect of what's being said sometimes. And not everybody. I get it's a small fraction. I know a lot of you guys appreciate this channel, what we're trying to do, okay? Because you understand that it's very hard to figure out what the hell is going on, which is totally weird because we have information, at our fingertips, right? Now, what I will say about Ron, knowing him personally for many years, and if you can't tell this by looking at the guy, then something is wrong. Because you seen how he was dressed in that video? That's how he's always dressed. That's how you can tell an honest person, because they probably wear a t-shirt. Okay, now if Ron was trying to sell you a bunker in a suit with his hair slicked back and feeding you a line and telling you exactly what you want to hear, some people fall for that. I don't care that me and Ron disagree on half the shit that we talk about with each other. I care that he takes pride in the work that he does and he's going to build a good product. That's all I care about, because it's about survival. It's not about my feelings and my emotions. It's about being stoic in the face of all this craziness that is going on and knowing who to align yourself with. Okay? Sometimes it doesn't mean that you need to, basically what I'm trying to, one of the comments I'm trying to address was, oh, this guy's just out to make money and stuff like this. Look, I can tell you right now, there's a lot of people in this industry that I don't libel for legal reasons, that are out there to just make a buck. They're not making quality products. Their products are going to rust out. They're going to get moldy. They're going to get flooded. And the craftsmanship is poor. I can tell you that Ron actually cares about the product that he makes. Now, not everybody's going to be able to afford it. This was another comment that I got. Oh, I can't afford a bunker. Screw this guy. Why is he doing this with our tax dollars? And I don't know the situation. You don't know what the circumstances are surrounding where the money is going for all this stuff. And I agree with you. And you guys know that we bring up all this stuff on the channel, okay? But What I will say is there's also a whiny victim component to all that. I mean, if that's your position, I get it, but who are you directing it at, right? Like Ron has made bunkers in the United States for years, without, getting any praise for doing that. I don't think you'll find anybody who is more patriotic in the industry in the truest way possible than Ron. But this idea that I'm not going to survive if I don't have a bunker, I'm not going to survive if I don't have a freeze dryer, and this whole like class war mentality. Look, I can tell you right now, I don't envy people who are living in mansions before this shit hits the fan. That's going to be the most dangerous place to be. And like I talked about in the video we released yesterday, if you don't have some very, very committed, devoted, and loyal guards to help you protect a place like that, you're screwed. You're a sitting duck. Don't envy people who have lots of stuff. Envy people who are, for one, not going to be in proximity to ground zero, because if you don't have that, you're screwed anyways, right? Envy people who have good communities, good relationships, good interpersonal skills, okay? The ability to communicate and work with people. That is probably going to be the number one most underrated skill, your ability to work with people. And I'm terrible at that. So I'm probably screwed. What is your intellect, your problem-solving capability? Some of the smartest people I know are people who don't make more than $50,000 a year when it comes to, being able to just do stuff with their hands and think creatively. What physical fitness level are you at? Okay, what is your tenacity and just grit, your will to survive? That's what it's going to come down to. So when I see people whining about, oh, well, what's he going to do for us here in the United States? Man, do something for yourself. We're in such a privileged position that we can bitch and moan. We have the luxury, while people right now are ducking and dodging bombs and are willing to probably, dig themselves a hole in the ground if that's the best thing that they can get to. Like the Anderson shelter type stuff, okay? So, it's better than duck and cover. Like somebody said, oh, the Anderson shelters are garbage. Well, guess what? It's slightly better than just waiting in your house to get bombed out. That's all we're really concerned about. There's other options. There's lots of subterranean places that you could probably escape to that are within short distance from where you're at. There's contingencies, okay? There's basements, and even like the New York PSA said, if all else fails, go into the middle of a brick and mortar style building and try to attenuate the radiation that way if the bombs actually fall, if a nuclear thing happens. So there's other ways around it. So I just wanted to address that because it's tragic that the people who I think are most authentic in this world, myself included, and look, I'm not perfect by any stretch of the means, but one thing I'm not is business savvy. And those slick-haired people with the suits who are going to jump into this preparedness game, and I guarantee you they're going to create an amazing, not an amazing product, but an amazing experience, okay? There's two types of people, I think, in business. There's people who are really, really believe in what they do and who want to give their customers a good product because they're fair. And then there's people who are just trying to make money and they don't really care about the customer experience, or they do, but even though they know the thing's going to fall apart at the last minute. So not everybody's going to be able to afford a bunker, okay? It's just a fact of life. I can't afford a Lamborghini. I can't. I know some people think I can, but I can't, okay? I can afford a Tesla Model 3 because it's tax deductible. And you make, practical decisions like this when you're a small business. Some people don't have to think about that. I like the fact that there's an option for me to go and be able to buy a bunker because not many people are doing it. And I can tell you there's a lot of shady people in the industry. So if I was you, okay, and you've watched this channel for as many years and we've developed this relationship, I know it's kind of one way, but you get what I mean. And one of the best pieces of advice I can give you is, sure, if you have disposable income and you live in a place where a bunker might be required because of whatever calamity, and if you can get one installed in your house because you're building a house, sure, do it through Atlas. Because I can tell you that they take pride in their work and they don't want people to die. It's not even so much that they don't want people to die, it's just that they don't want to build a bad product. So anyways, this never was supposed to be a pitch for Atlas or anything, but I consider Ron a friend, even though we disagree about a lot of shit, man. Like, you guys don't hear, off camera our disagreements. All the stuff that you guys bring up in the comment section, we talk about. We're real people, okay? I don't work for the SBU, right? I get accused of being a member of the KGB as much as I get accused of being of the SBU. But those of you who are, you've been around for a while, you know what I'm about. We're all about trying to figure out what's going on, because the fog of war is thick right now, incredibly thick. And I think if you've been watching this channel, even if you go back, just watch a few of those update videos that I've done, you'll start to get a sense of where I'm coming from, I'm sure. Anyways, I wanted to make this video to address some of those concerns. You don't need a bunker when it comes down to it. Okay, gear is helpful, but it's not going to be the deciding factor. But it could be very helpful. It's definitely a force multiplier. There's going to be some situations where, yeah, having the massive bunker with 6 months worth of diesel supply and septic and all that stuff, where that's going to come in handy. But, I don't envy the people on the hill, okay, for reasons that I've just laid out. So we're getting into this mentality now where, as the financial contraction happens, there's going to be riots. I'm 100% convinced of that. I don't know when it's going to happen, but we're going to see another We Are the 99%. And I've been saying that for a long time. You get inflation, you get people who can't put food on the table. What do you think is going to happen? What has happened every single time throughout history? There is going to be protests. Those protests, a certain subsection of those protests are going to get violent. And then that's going to increase the police crackdown and possibly the implementation of martial law in some places. And it's just going to spiral out of control. Hopefully, maybe, by a stroke of luck, peace is achieved. I mean, if peace is achieved, we're going to see one final crack-up boom of the markets before the whole thing collapses. Because a lot of economists, and I'm just getting off topic, but a lot of economists think that war or not, the funny money economy can't go on much longer. Anyways, you guys let me know what you think about this in the comment section. I didn't intend for this to be a condescending video to talk down to you. I want to talk to you brother to brother, brother to sister, okay? And remember, if a person is wearing a t-shirt, trust that person 9 times out of 10 more than you're trusting the person in the suit. Thanks for watching, guys. You take care of yourself. Canadian Prepper out.